Please, 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 please. We can sit down. Thank you. Peter, I don't know if you want to sit for a moment while we take a few questions. We'll take them in threes, or you can stay there as you wish.
Yeah.
Look,
You've touched on security, very important issue in Nigeria. But you've not told us how you're going to manage this. We'd like you to tell us how you will manage security in Nigeria. And second part of my question is loads of kidnapping of women and girls in Nigeria, rape of our young children in Nigeria. Can you tell us, Your Excellency, how this will be managed? Thank you.
One of those philosophies I wanted, doctrine that I believe firmly in, is teamship, unbreakable team. To demonstrate that, I will choose the first question, assign it to Dele Alake.
The activities of the IPOB in Nigeria is on alarming rate every day. And with all the policy, beautiful ideas that you've listed down, sir, without tackling security head on, they are impossible. So, one of the allegations given to you is that you've not condemned the activities of the IPOB. So, tackling of security, how will you tackle it, sir? Are you introducing state police, or are you strengthening the federal government security apparatus? Thank you.
On the issue of IPOB, maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in the space. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place. It's not only IPOB. We have Yoruba Nation movement. We have all sorts. When you have created this level of massive poverty, where 63% of your population is poor, you're going to create all sorts of problems. I was speaking to a British minister this morning. I said we have about 40% unemployment. And we have about 60% youth unemployment. Young people in their productive age doing nothing. If you have 15% unemployment in Britain today, you're going to have massive, remember, agitation. Nobody will be able to leave his house. So what you're seeing is a cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years, which will be solved by good governance. When people start seeing justice, fairness, and inclusive government and doing the right thing, all those things will start reversing itself. And that is what me and that is offering. I will talk and discuss with all agitators. There's nothing wrong in that. People agitate even in my house, and I talk with them.
We will address the conflict between monetary and fiscal policies. Budgeting will be based upon the projected spending level needed to push the real annual growth rate above 7%.
Reducing costs of governance in Nigeria is an effective way of fighting institutional corruption. In addition to reducing the cost of governance and streamlining government operations for efficiency and effectiveness, we will ensure that reforms we pursue will not in any way affect the livelihood of our hardworking and efficient civil servants. Critical to fighting corruption, we will install a new budgeting system founded on the cardinal principle of public accountability.
We will reduce the unemployment rate so that we can double the economy in 10 years.
We will support local manufacturing capacities and power technologies and encourage and expand local R&D. in universities, training centers, and workshops, through which many jobs will be created. We will turn our youth budge to a democratic dividend rather than today's harvest of time bomb of violence, insecurity from uneducated, unemployed, and marginalized youth.
We know thousands of lives have been lost and continue to be wasted. We know that various infrastructure assets built at a huge cost have been destroyed in deliberate act of reckless vandalism. We see the thousands of people who have been internally displaced at home or forced into refugee camps abroad. With farming activities disrupted, we have seen shortages of food items and food price inflation that are further undermining human security. I can go on and on in enumerating the costs that have been and are still being inflicted on mass of the people by the crisis of insecurity.
We have an alarming insecurity that led to loss of many lives and properties, significant decline in food and economic output, immense trauma that has compromised the mental health of communities, and in some cases, identity pressures and disaffection with the Nigerian project.
Expertise to accelerate growth and development by providing the critical infrastructure necessary to achieve the commodity transformation in the agricultural value chain. Roads, rail, access to ports, storage and infrastructure are what we require to radically transform the agricultural sector and increase its value to the nation.
And as a pillar for Nigerian other sectoral development and industrialization, we will incentivize and invest in an agro-cluster and industrial cluster development across our geo-resource zones to take advantage of agglomeration and scale effects, of particularly in the northwest, northeast, and north central regions of Nigeria.
Take full advantage of global initiatives and processes that work for us and tally with our domestic priorities. In this instance, I applaud the outcome of the COP27 that recently ended in Egypt, in acknowledging the legitimate claim of Global South on climate action, in accepting adaptation and energy transition principles, including the treatment of gas as a transition fuel. We will work to accelerate investment in gas production beyond what we do nationally.
We will dredge both River Niger and River Benue, build dams massively to support planting of economic trees across the country for local usage, poverty and elimination, export and revenue generation. A key task is to sequentially but decisively dismantle the inefficient and anti-market distortionary structures restraining Nigerian economy from creating a precondition for a dynamic pro-market economy. We will employ entrepreneurial governance to dismantle impediments to free trade and ease of doing business, and implementing radical economic policies that will drastically reduce our debt service, a major drain to government revenue as it is today. Further borrowing must be strictly for productive purposes and not for consumption.
Storage and infrastructure are what we require to radically transform the agricultural sector and increase its value to the nation. Provided this be the area of our focus, so that the full potential of our agroeconomy can be achieved and we can reap the benefits in jobs, improved economy, opportunities, and increased prosperity.
Our solution to the perennial power problem in Nigeria is comprehensive and it's well covered in our manifesto. We will ensure that we deal with the issue of transmission distribution. However, we will immediately complete the 2.3 billion Nigeria Siemens network improvement deal to achieve a stable 7,000 by the end of this year, 11,000 megawatts by 2024, and 25,000 megawatts by 2025.
We have privatized the power distribution in Nigeria and generation to a certain degree. What we need to do going forward is to improve the enabling environment and further reform the legal regulatory framework to attract more private investment in the sector, as we have experienced in the telecom industry.
To enhance human capital development of our youth for productivity and global competitiveness through investment in education, in research, quality health, and entrepreneurial education. To move Nigeria right to the top bracket of the index, we will pursue a Marshall Plan type program on education that incorporates compulsory technical and vocational skills, sports, entrepreneurship, programming, digital skills from primary to secondary school level. In line with this commitment to transform our educational sector, we will prioritize funding of this critical sector. Our tertiary institution will be remodeled to serve as hubs and centers of research, development, and commercialization of ideas for quick industrialization of Nigeria.
I'm ready to lead and govern the country. I will return here to interact with you when the elections are over. I love the country I love and dedicate myself to for a lifetime. Democracy is not easy to manage, to promote. We have seen challenges around and across the world, but we are up to the task. Thank you.
Dati, Baba Ahmed and I to join to offer to lead this desire and crusade of Nigerian, particularly the youth, for an inclusive and sustainable Nigeria that works for all. In line with my upbringing, especially my mother's counsel, my promise is that Nigerian resources will be most prudently used for Nigerians. And as Commander-in-Chief, I, Mr. Peter, will be sincerely pledged that our path with Nigeria will be diligently pursued to create a new Nigeria characterized by sustained and inclusive growth and development for all. Thank you, and God bless all of you.